now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Pints Pitstops. It's been a while. I just wanted to, we all just wanted to get back on here. It's the reason why we've been a while. It's just a couple of things. We tried to do a couple of things, didn't necessarily work out for the betterment of the podcast, and we're back here on Twitch. And as we're always going to be at 6 p.m. instead of 3, means that people who come home from work can get to see us instead of it being in the middle of their work days or school days. And also at the same time, I'm just going to do audio levels real quick. Also at the same time, gives us all of our hosts ample time to kind of come back from university and stuff, because that's been a big factor in why we haven't been here, is because life has caught up to us. So just we haven't streamed since the Italian Grand Prix, which is pretty long ago. It's nearly the end of the season. It is the end of the season. One more race, and we are capping 2022 off, and a lot of postseason talk. So, 4 topics today. Brazil, we've got the Verstappen versus Perez incident. We're going to be discussing 2 drivers that are out of contract at the end of the season, Mick Schumacher and Daniel Ricciardo. And then finally, we're going to be previewing Abu Dhabi, a couple of things to play for there. So, let's get started. Let's talk about the Brazilian Grand Prix. We can go Oscar, Lucy, and then, because Rohan and Pran, I was going to say Rohan and Martin are in the same room. Rohan and Pran are in the same room. We can go there. So, Oscar, what do you think about the race?
I mean, it's a toss-up between this and Silverstone for the best race of the year. It's pretty close. I don't know which one wins. I mean, I'm biased towards Silverstone, obviously. I was there. But, God, Brazil's so good. I just love Interlagos. And, George, let's get that out of the way first. Sorry, Lucy. George, excellent, amazing. The whole weekend, he was just absolutely on it. And he capped off, he's not capped off the season yet. There's still all to play for in Abu Dhabi, but capped off a very disappointing season for Mercedes with a typically dominant win and bringing home a 1-2. He survived under massive pressure from Lewis. Lewis was, breathing down his neck for the last few laps, even some of the other laps right earlier in the race, just really hounding him. And he drove flawlessly, no mistakes, up and down the field. There's all sorts of chaos, and it was just everything I wanted it to be. It was almost everything I wanted it to be. Lewis didn't win, but it was just excellent. It was just fantastic. And then obviously controversy that we'll get onto a bit later. I've got a lot to say. But no, it's textbook Formula One race. Exactly what I want. I'm excellent, just fantastic.
I think Oscar really liked that race. I have a hunch.
I loved it. It was so good. It was so much fun.
Lucy?
Sitting next to Oscar watching the race, and we were both anxious messes the entire time.
Well, I had my head in my hands. You were on the edge of tears until you weren't, and you actually were in tears.
I cried my fuck. I cried
You can
my
swear,
eyes
I
out.
don't care. Yeah.
Oh, we can swear. Thank God, I caught it.
So,
Yeah.
for context, so I've been a George fan since I got back into the sport. He is. I love him more than most people I know. Like, legitimately, he is like the amount of emotional energy I've invested into George Russell is like just slightly unacceptable at this point. It's got better than it used to be. Like, Sakir broke me, and that was the issue. It's Shiv was also there and kept winding us up.
Yeah, I was like,
And
hey
I was
Lucy,
like,
Imola 2020. Hey Lucy,
There was a point near the end of the race where the winding up did get too much, and I think we did tell you to fuck off. I'm very sorry.
Honestly, during race watch along, I remember you saying, Shiv, there's a point where it gets too extreme, just piss off.
Fuck off.
Piss off.
Yeah,
I literally was like, look, Shiv, there's a point where this gets too much. The Sakir flashbacks were coming back.
I have something to say there, yeah.
I felt so sick the entire time.
Oh, it was like
Well,
me
I
and Monza.
And the thing is, I hate crying in front of people because I just feel disgusting. But I was like, what? And my brain stopped working. I was like, what do I do? He's just won and I'm in public.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a massive full bar, and I was like, oh my god!
You had your lovely bottle of Prosecco
I did have. There's a picture of me, and it's very cute.
Yeah.
I've got it on my phone actually.
Yeah.
Very cute picture of me with a mini bottle of prosecco, because everyone on Discord with all of my F1 servers was just like, someone check on Lucy, someone check on Lucy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my little bottle of prosecco, and I called my brother, and we spoke about it. And it was like I'd won a race at that
Yeah.
point. Like, it was.
You're celebrating for George. Yeah.
And the response from Williams and like Alex and Lando, and I think it was really sweet having Martin Brundle talk about Kings Lynn finally having a win, and it's just like, I still kind of don't feel like it actually happened. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, like George Russell race winner. Or like a Discord server I'm in, they've changed the name from, so the F1 channel like changes names. So it was Has to Plan Appreciation or something like that, and now it's called Blimey Russell Won or something like that. Yeah, it's just it was a great race. Like, nonetheless, George winning was just a cherry on top. Like, it was a very good race. My boy did it. My boy did it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Pran Rohan, what do you guys think?
So, I mean, I want to say one underrated driver during the race was Valtteri Bottas. The number of times he was going onto the radio saying, like, tell Joe to attack into turn 10. That was the most notable one. He is coaching Joe while being in a Formula One car and driving it to the limit. That is when you know that a driver is like a sort of Formula One father figure in a sense. He
I mean, have you
is doing
seen his
such a
daddy
massive
mustache?
good job with Zhou Guan Yu to help him to have a successful F1 career. But Bottas is so smart, and he could tell from each lap going through that Latifi was going to break a little bit earlier, telling Zhou to be a bit more attacking. Zhou did pass him anyway, going into the main straight, the back straight into the first corner, and then he himself went for the move into turn 10. Like, he just went for it and it worked on him. So, that was a particular highlight for me that I really appreciated. As for everything else, I was very disappointed as a McLaren fan to see Lando and Daniel retire from the race. That was not ideal
Wearing a
for us
McLaren top now,
whatsoever.
actually, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a deserved winner, that's for sure. I mean, genuinely, the amount of times I doubted George Russell whether he could win this year, and for him to prove us wrong this year, and to actually go out and win against a 7-time world champion. Hey, I'm sorry.
You got Rohan right next to you.
Well said, well said.
That's a dangerous game you're playing, man. Rohan can just go bang, kind of thing.
God love him.
Oh, that's good.
pain
I
in
guess
his
one
eyes.
thing that no one has touched on, surprisingly, is Kevin Magnussen on position.
Yeah.
And, how did no one touch on that is
happen.
beyond me, but
I was gonna do it.
I mean, Kevin, what a weekend. Unfortunately, Ricardo's forgotten how to drive again. But
Shut
but, I mean,
up.
it was like a very, very good.
Fuck up.
Honestly, I think Haas was like probably my standout team this weekend because out of nowhere they just got pole, and then even in the sprint race, I mean, 8th is a pretty good result for a Haas.
He got 1 point.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say the team. I would say the driver. The
Mick started
Mick-
Yeah.
20th.
Went up
They
to 12th.
literally had, like, the Haas team was starting first and last with a sprint.
It was a Haas sandwich.
Haas
No, it's
gave...
not a Haas sandwich. It's in every other team sandwich. You don't
No,
call it
it's a Haas.
sandwich.
It's a Haas like
Big
it's a
Haas
Haas,
sandwich,
like,
as Scruffle says. Big Haas
Yeah.
sandwich.
Haas with the
Mac-
bread.
Mac
You
Daddy
don't
basically
call it
of
a
Haas.
bread sandwich.
yeah, it was a grid sandwich and the
honestly,
Haas with the bread.
It was a Big Mac. It was a Haas Big Mac.
I mean,
Gunther's like, bread? I can make bread?
Here's a serious point.
It was a decade.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, I'm putting up.
So here's a serious point that I want to address, right? Because Haas, I don't know whether they're, treating their drivers equally or not. I mean, I'm not going to make any allegations because that's unfounded. But what I am going to say is how Mick Schumacher is performing so badly and Kevin Magnussen able to, push that car to a greater level. I don't know whether it's experience at play, but, I just find it a little bit strange coming from a team that should be on level pegging pretty much. I mean, we've seen Mick Schumacher, beat Kevin Magnussen plenty of times. So I don't understand how this weekend went so badly for him.
Yep,
I
we
saw
have.
something in the German press about that,
Yeah.
about how Gunter Steiner's like. Apparently, people are claiming that Gunter Steiner doesn't like how Mick Schumacher's like stealing the spotlight in Haas,
Oof.
or something along those lines. I read in the German press.
We'll talk about that more because we have to talk about more the Brazilian because we have that in a section. But yeah, Groffel saying that Mick has finished a few times ahead of Magnussen. That is true. That is true. He has done. I think he's held a candle to Magnussen, and a lot of people say, oh, you can't count last year's his rookie season because that Haas was dog water. Kind
It
of
was
thing.
literally terrible.
It was
last
the
year.
worst. The worst car.
This is the legitimate rookie
Yeah,
season.
this is
This is rookie season in F1. Last year was F1.5.
Yeah. It was like F2.
And also, Mick usually takes a year or two to warm up. Like, he didn't warm up for F2 until quite late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the problem,
So
right?
2 years, right?
The Haas from last year wasn't even Formula 1.5. It was like Formula 1.9 recurring.
Formula 2.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No, Rohan, Formula 2 is a different thing.
Yeah.
Even Williams have scored points this year. It is a first
Formula
year
2
in a
is a
long time
completely
that every
different
team scored points.
category. It's
No, but
just
somehow,
can get.
they ran a Formula 2 car and a Formula 1 race.
Yeah.
Like they were in their own
Mazepin-
category. It was like Le Mans. They have like GTE, GT. They have like the GTE of like. It's like everyone was LMP except us.
Did you just ask Pran, do you know Le Mans? Of
He's,
course we know the fucking answer to that.
No, I
he's,
think you
he's
know
our
Armin Le
whack.
Mans, not you
He's
know
our
Le Mans.
whack
Tickets.
thing of knowledge. Anyways.
Excuse me, I watched the final WEC race at the weekend.
Anyways.
My
That makes
phone is full of pictures of
two of
Robin
us.
Fries looking awkward.
All right. Cool. Regardless, we're
Okay.
talking about WEC and stuff like that. Basically, in a nutshell, for Brazil, I thought it was a pretty good weekend. I mean, Interlagos always throws up a good race, regardless of the season, And I think like everyone was like, right, free for all battle, So pretty much what happened. Obviously, Magnussen got pole, which was pretty unexpected. I was like, there's no way, and obviously I knew for a fact he's gonna hold it, but I was still like, maybe, just like if Russell and Verstappen, they keep fighting, but basically in a nutshell, we have Magnussen who did unfortunately DNF, and then the race was pretty interesting. Obviously, Interlagos is a small track, the car is quite large, quite wide, so these guys collided, and I'm not surprised, but it was a good race, and honestly, I'm quite happy with the result. Quite happy for George Russell and Lewis getting a 1-2. Groffel did say earlier in the chat that I think Lewis could have won if he didn't have a collision with Max. Obviously, we'll discuss that, but I think, personally speaking, I agree with Groffel. I think they were quite level pegging on pace, and Lewis had a bit of side pod damage as well. Very lucky, I might add, very lucky to not DNF on the spot, considering that collision. Or not spin like Ocon and Verstappen did in 2018. So that's my kind of counterpart to that. But obviously it was a pretty good race. I am very much in favor for sprint race weekends, and the fact that like in my opinion it gives a lot less time to get the setup in. So it's like cool, easy, kind of like one session setup, then qualifying, then a chaotic track. That's what Formula 1 should be, kind of thing. Not like Formula E where you engineer the chaos, with tight knit spaces and stuff. Formula 1 creates the chaos with limitedness.
Don't slander Formula E.
I'm
I
not
was about to
slandering.
say, you're about to get it, and you're about to get it.
I'm not slandering
Don't
Formula
slander
E.
Formula E. Formula E has less practice than F1, actually.
Yeah, but then the environment, like in Formula E, like it. Come on, Lucy. It's all straight tracks. Inevitably, there's gonna be a collision, and I feel like they know that.
Yeah, but the FE cars are stronger,
Yeah.
so that when they do crash, they can keep going.
Yeah. There's one.
Little sunburn and you break your hand.
Adam. Hi, Adam.
What's up, bro?
Hi.
How's it going?
Can I just say, I'm disappointed that I forgot this, and so did Oscar, because we spent most of the race talking about how much we loved Valtteri Bottas' mustache.
Yeah.
Oh, it's excellent. Oh, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I can't stop thinking about it.
It's got to be
now.
worth like 2/10, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see a very funny meme of someone drawing like the oh my god, what's it called, the CFD simulations on his mustache.
There's one
I
thing.
tried to find it on Sunday.
There's
but I
one
couldn't.
thing I want to say though before we kind of finish on the Brazil Grand Prix recap is that like I was winding Lucy and Oscar up, right? But the thing is, I was like in the back of my head before he crossed the line, I'm like something is gonna happen to George because I feel like
It almost did.
no, I feel like
I would have
yeah.
straight up and left if that had happened.
No, but the thing is, like,
would have
I'm like
been inconsolable.
sort like it's like the George Russell type of luck with Imola, with Sakira and stuff like that, you know? I'm like
Only George Russell would
yeah,
win a race.
only
before
George
he's won a
Russell
race.
would yeah.
Like he won a sprint race. If he hadn't won the actual race, there's a chance he could have won a race in 2022, but not won a race.
Yeah. Won a half race, technically. Yeah. Alright, cool. Going from there, Verstappen versus Perez. If you don't know what happened, you've been living under a rock. Basically, in a nutshell. So I'll give you the whole the tea as the kids call it these days, and I say
Oh,
kids
God,
because
never say that again.
yeah.
You know,
Because
what?
I'm
He is-
almost
pretty
sick in my
young with
mouth.
Kyle.
He is a phrase coming from the queer community.
Brother,
Okay.
brother, you're
From
2
the
years
kid,
younger
from
than
the
all
gay.
of us, and then like 3 years younger than Lucy.
As the kids say.
4 years. She's almost 4 years.
Literal
younger than
child.
us. I
As,
feel like a grandmother.
as we'll put it, okay, boomer. What you got?
Jesus
God,
Christ.
oh,
I got-
God, I'm surrounded
I
by.
the boomer.
Oh.
Okay, basically,
Oh.
I think I'm actually the oldest here though, so
how old are you,
technically
Adam?
I'm going by 22.
Oh,
Am I?
you are okay. You guys are the same age.
Well,
I'm
What
almost-
month?
I'm
What
also
month?
22.
What month?
My birthday was less than a month ago.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Shiv finally gave me my birthday present, and it's a signed picture of the smallest of racing drivers, and I love it, and I love Yuki. So
Yeah.
thank you, Shiv.
Base, no worries. But basically, in a nutshell, this Verstappen versus Perez drama. I'm not gonna call it tea again. I do apologize to
Thank
all
you,
to
please.
all, to all our listeners
To all people who
worldwide,
can hear, yes.
to all 8 billion people worldwide.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened is that Verstappen collided with Lewis. I don't know. You know, that whole incident. Whether you think it's Lewis's, Max's fault, the racing incident, whatever. But basically, in a nutshell, he was sent to the back of the grid. Had to pit for front wing. Obviously, there was numerous safety cars, virtual safety cars, and stuff like that. So he had time to catch up. And then what happened was Max is on the softs, Checo on the mediums, and it's Checo, Alonso, and Leclerc ahead. So Max is let by Checo, and then he's like, all right, cool, Max on these fresher tires, you're gonna go get Alonso and then Leclerc, right? And then Max doesn't get it, so he said to his race engineer, hey, you have to give these positions back if you don't get them, right? Which I assume he's agreed to because obviously he took the position. And then Checo said from his race engineer, you will get this position back from Max if he doesn't get the people. On the last lap, on the main overtaking zone, Max did not overtake Alonso nor Leclerc, and by instruction, he was asked to give the position back, and did not. And then there's a whole string of drama where it's like, okay, cool. The reason I did this was for Monaco because actually Sergio deliberately crashed in Monaco, getting him a P2 position, which ended up in him winning because Ferrari screwed up strategy.
Was it P2?
It was
I
P2,
don't
yeah,
know.
in qualifying
Oh,
P2,
right.
and then yeah, there was like this whole thing, and then everyone's like, it was P3, P2. It was a podium place for sure, but I think it was
P2 was Hamilton.
Okay, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it was P.
I don't think Hamilton
No,
qualified that high in
it wasn't
Monaco.
Hamilton. It wasn't Hamilton. It was Carlos. It was Leclerc, Carlos, Checo.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. So P3, and then people saying that he deliberately crashed, and then people saying, oh, the relationship is sour, kind of like a Daniel and Verstappen thing, or Vettel and Weber, I was gonna say. So, what are you guys' thoughts on? We'll go Oscar, Lucy,
Oh,
Adam,
thank God. Thank you for letting me go first. I've got a
and
lot
then
to say.
and then we've got Pran and Martin.
Just-
One
Just
at
a
a time.
quick thing before,
Yeah.
just a quick thing before you start. Just Google it because I need to have a look at it again on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
now the second most popular trending thing on the search for Checo on YouTube.
Base.
So
Thanks for that factoid. Yeah. Go ahead, Oscar.
Okay. This is inexcusable. This is filthy. I really, really. There's no excuse for not doing that. Like, Checo. Okay, I've watched the Monaco thing back. It's pretty clear Checo's up to no good. But at the time, okay, completely different circumstances. I mean, let's be real. Checo in Monaco was still in the fight. He was still like, after Monaco, everyone's like, oh my God, does Checo have a shot at the WDC? And Checo was still in it. He was still in it to win it. And so, and you know, he resorted to some dirty means to get there. He wasn't helping the team out. He was helping himself out because he's a racing driver, and racing drivers are selfish. But Max at Brazil, there was absolutely no excuse for him to be such just. I'm trying to find a way to articulate this. To be
Nicely.
so selfish. Yeah, to be so selfish. There was no reason for him to be so selfish other than pride. And if it ends with Checo in P3, it's Max's fault. It's Max's fault for being just for being selfish. And if it ends with Charles in P2, it ends with Charles in P3 and Checo in P2. I hope we don't forget what Max did because it really does show his true colors. Like what Checo said, he shows who he really is, and it's really disappointing. It's really, really disappointing. I've seen and I've used the example of Lewis at Sochi 2017.
Hungary.
2017. Hungary. I keep saying Sochi. Hungary 2017, where the team let Lewis go past Valtteri to chase after the cars ahead, and Lewis hadn't won the world championship by that point. He was still racing for the world title against a very quick-looking Ferrari. Yeah. And even then, he didn't keep the position. He gave it back to Valtteri at the end because he couldn't catch the cars ahead. It's integrity, it's respect, and it's being a team player. And Max showed none of those things on Sunday. I think it's quite pathetic.
Yeah. Lucy?
Just to respond to Groffel, by the way, just to respond, helping in Abu Dhabi after not helping in Brazil, I mean, it's like giving a bandage to a heart attack. It's like, it's just like trying to heal like damage lost when Perez could have won maybe 2 or 3 more points.
Yeah.
You have to take every opportunity possible to help your teammate out.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, saying you're helping Abu Dhabi, I mean, it should be expected anyways. He doesn't need to have to say that. He should be doing it regardless, helping the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need, if you have a moral compass and you have a teammate that you want to be helping, you'd want to do it. You'd want to take that initiative and help your team. But, when you're a one-man show, kind of like Max is nowadays, it gets difficult,
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Sorry, Lucy. I need to add one more thing. I'm sorry. I keep going on about this, but seriously, they're not going to do anything about it at Red Bull, are they? They're going to let this slide internally, and nothing will be done about this. I saw someone suggest that they ban Max. Well, they don't ban Max. That they kick Max out the car for Abu Dhabi and put a young driver in. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But even still, any repercussions need to come through because he can't just do that.
None will happen.
Okay, go for it. I'm sorry. I had so much
Actually
in my head
leads
about
quite
that.
nicely onto my point, which
Oh,
is
you're welcome.
So, Max is a spoiled brat. That's all I'm going to say. Because if I say anything... Because to quote Jose Mourinho, I prefer to speak. I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. So I was going to say that Red Bull have enabled Max being a spoiled brat, and he's finally shown his true colours. So I'm just going to shush from there.
I tried to be very respectful, guys. I tried.
Adam?
Yeah. I'm sensing a theme. I'm sensing a theme.
Don't-
Man like Adam about to spit some
Yeah. He did the whole fucking.
Uh, I mean, I mean, it doesn't look very intimidating. A dark room, then literally 2 seconds later, you've got an a rainbow RGB light coming from your
LGB
computer.
light?
Oscar
Well,
was setting up his lighting before the stream, and I said that he looked really creepy in a dark room.
I know. I had to turn a lamp on because it was it was really dark.
I do have a lamp, but the problem is if I unplug my fan, then I'll have to turn my lamp on. The only thing that I've got, if you want to make it more creepy quickly, I can put a red light on right now.
Okay, no, I'm good. I'm
Um,
good.
Good.
This is good. Right, we're just gonna do this for the thingy,
Halloween
but I actually
special.
do.
Yeah.
Or is it? This is the late Pints and Pitstops Halloween special, but
Mm.
just
Late.
quickly while everyone was watching, well, doing their talk, so I just obviously had to refresh my mind a little bit with what Checo did in Monaco, and one thing that I've noticed is someone did a quite cool comparison the other day, and it was basically obviously the turn 8 incident where Max is obviously claiming Checo did the accident. But on the the main thing that you notice for me is like if you watch the Checo's throttle input, when he's doing his normal lap in Q3, this is obviously his first run. He into the turn, his rotation speed, he's only going at 86 kmh, and the throttle input before the curve on the right hand side is not even 5%. But if you watch beforehand, he's on
Nothing.
he's
Right.
on he's on about 90% throttle input at 77 kph, and he's basically spun the car already beforehand. So I do see Max's point, obviously saying it looks a little bit suspicious looking at the data, because the car, obviously, if you just whack it down, the car's going to spin, so that's alright. But even though, it does look suspicious, I mean, obviously, we saw Schumacher put it in the barrier before in Monaco, supposedly.
Rosberg as well, but not in the barrier.
But the thing,
I was
the
like,
thing
which
is,
Schumacher are you referring to? I was like, oh, yeah, not Mick. Yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah.
I mean, Mick still put it in the barrier, just not on
Mick
put
put it in the
It's
I
put in the
mean,
barrier. It's
I-
put the car
I mean,
in half too.
I'll do some investigation next week because I'm actually going to Monaco. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'll
Get you.
no, it's just called Lucky Connections. Anyway, I do think like with the whole Max situation though, like obviously I know everyone's going the argument, oh, Checo should have been faster in the race. Checo should have been faster over the season. I think the thing is though, Checo's done that much for Max in terms of helping him like last year defending. I think it's kind of a little bit selfish of Max on this occasion, obviously, to go, it's 2 points and you've basically got the records you want this season, but then you didn't really have a chance of getting Alonso. You had the team order, you've completely lost it, and yet you've been, petty about 2 points. Like, you should have given the place back. Look, I love Checo, I love Max as well. Max, I have my reasons. But Checo, in that case, I just think he's just been completely screwed over by Max there. Because obviously Max has got the win record, he's got the points record. Checo obviously there's been plenty of, times Checo's given up for Max, or he's, helped him in some way, but now you've got to help Checo, and yet you won't do it. Stop, being like a petulant child in this case, and do that. I mean, like, it won't like dent my, liking towards Max. I think it's just obviously a team situation which shouldn't have been made public, and it has, and I think everyone's still making like a really big deal out of it. I mean, like, the 2007 incident, McLaren, obviously Alonso and Hamilton in the pit lane where Alonso didn't go. I sense a little bit something like that, obviously, where one side of the story is reported where obviously Alonso held up Hamilton, then they got thrown out.
Yeah.
But then obviously in quali we had Hamilton do something, or was it quali or was it practice? Do something to Alonso, so it was payback for that. But I sense something. This might only be the start of it. But
Yeah.
watching the interview after, where Checo was obviously, you know what Checo's like, always pretty cheerful and everything. Just something seemed off. So I don't know what it is, but I think it's in relation to Monaco. But I'm obviously, like, I'm sorry to say, but if it's about Monaco, then it's a little bit petty because Checo's done that much for him, and I can say Checo this weekend just was not fast enough. Don't cry when he's done. Essentially helped you last year win a world title. like I still gonna love Max for winning the championships, but yeah, you've literally just done something that potentially could cost you your teammate P2 in the championship, because I think Checo's got 2 wins this year to Leclerc 3.
Singapore
So,
and then Monaco, yeah.
yeah, so he's obviously got the 2 wins, but
Fun fact, he's the only non-world champion to win at Singapore. Yeah.
Such a cool one. But yeah, that's just my opinions on it. But I mean, like, we'll see the red light on it at some point.
Yeah.
Related fact: George Russell is the only teammate of Lewis Hamilton to be neither Finnish nor world champion.
Yeah.
That's manipulated, man.
Also,
Wait, hold on. Is the only teammate of Lewis's to finish ahead of him and not be world champion?
he's the only teammate of Lewis's full stop who have not either been Finnish, so Heikki Kovalainen or Valtteri Bottas, or
Oh, okay.
a world champion.
I was gonna say I thought Button was ahead of him as well.
So
But no, I was just going to say as well, the one record that Red Bull haven't got is the 1-2 in the championship, and yet Max isn't facilitating that by being a to checker. So
Yeah.
helping them out get that record.
I mean, like, we're all open to debate on this TV show. Well, TV show, podcast.
TV
Podcast.
show.
Yeah.
Damn,
What-
go
what
with
is
the
it?
world.
What is it?
What is
Future
on
pints
TV?
and pints and pods pit stops going wild here.
Yeah, could do. I wouldn't mind.
We're
that.
not doing a Pints and Pit Stops Gone Wild. Jesus fucking
Oh,
Christ.
no.
Fucking hell, no!
Oh my
my
god.
God.
Oh my
I'm-
god.
I mean, Martin's already on the cigar.
Yeah, on the,
I mean,
the vino, yeah.
I don't show that much cleavage on this podcast.
Just not right now.
Oh my
May
god.
I say something controversial?
Oh god.
It was actually Pran and Rohan's turn, and then you
Oh,
can go.
sorry.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Fine.
It's Pran, Rohan, and myself,
I mean-
then we can go. You can go.
I don't really have much to add, to be honest. It was a fairly comprehensive account of events.
I like how Gruffle
To
is
be
saying Max's childish coming from a Dutch person. Friendly fire? Question?
I don't have much to say either. I'm just curious to see if Checo will keep helping Max out.
Yeah.
He better not. He better not.
I have something very
On
controversial.
Checo 2.0.
I have
Checo
something-
being
Well, actually, he probably will have to, though.
I have
So,
something
we'll see.
extremely. Oh shit! My wheel just dropped. I have something extremely controversial. So controversial, my wheel just fell. Basically,
You don't still have the same opinion as you did on
Alright,
Sunday,
Mark.
do you?
no, I do.
I'm holding
I still have the
up.
same opinion. I still have the same opinion. Basically, that opinion was, no, it makes sense as to why it's happened. Let me explain. All right. So, as a person who's worked in a management position in
Oh,
motorsport,
for God's sake.
yeah.
Oh,
Bingo card, let's
Oh,
go.
yes, again.
But basically, in a nutshell, see, I didn't realize what was happening originally because I was next to Oscar and Lucy, and then Max was let by, and I was like, oh yeah, he's on the fresher tires, that makes sense. And then Oscar and Lucy had some colorful language. So
Colourful
just like-
language,
yeah.
beginning with
It was
C and
very
ending with unt, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I said that.
Question.
That was me, not Oscar.
Question?
Question.
Oscar, did
Hello.
Shiv flip any tables
No.
when he was in this moment?
I almost
I-
did.
If Oscar and I were sitting at the same table,
I wanted to.
and it was
I
just
s-
us two at the end of the race.
I'm sure I said some things I'm not proud of. I'm sure I said some things I'm not proud of.
But,
Nah, all you did was just shout and call people melons.
I
yeah.
didn't say. But, okay, that's a very PG way of putting it.
But- But
He was swearing so much I had to tell him to stop.
basically, in a nutshell,
Oh,
like
God.
my opinion, see, I'm very torn about this, right? Because like this whole thing, I think they tried to ban team orders way back when, right? I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
it was banned in the 2000s, and
Okay.
then obviously
2000.
Fernando was faster than you. Sort of opened the floodgates to
Yeah,
team orders coming back again.
but basically, in a nutshell, I just kind of saw the whole thing happen, and then I saw Max obviously keep his position and Checo not, and then I was like, well, that's quite interesting. You know, I didn't have an opinion of it. I know a lot of people in the bar, including a lot of Verstappen fans, were like, what the fuck? I don't support my Verstappen anymore because of this incident. And I was like, right, but it makes sense because obviously you don't want Max to damage his tires. He was faster through the weekend. I'm looking at this very data, very black and white, mindset where I'm like, well, no, that makes sense, as to why they would let him by. But the thing, obviously, the controversy is it's not really the points. It's more the message that sends over to Sergio, because obviously, as everyone has mentioned, Sergio has been instrumental to Max winning that world championship. So there was a statistic by, I think Tomo F1 had mentioned this, where he was like, so Lewis was held up 8 seconds, which if he had those 8 seconds and he was not held up by Sergio, would have gotten the ability to make a pit stop on the safety car for soft tires, and they would have been level on tires, which could have won Lewis the championship,
Wait, Lewis didn't win the championship?
Oh, oh my god. Alright, go.
Crazy that.
Not Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
It's so, I just love how it's so like rent free and all that now.
I know it is. It really is.
Rent free, like without any hesitation.
Yeah. I am the Twitter salt man.
But
It's bad.
some people start to
This one.
burn Max
Oh my.
merch. Oh
Also
wow.
an IB.
Yeah, I heard a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
people.
That's something.
I heard a
That's
lot of
not
people getting
expensive,
harassed. Yeah.
People were throwing their
Ah.
merch away and stuff, and
Instead
I
of
saw a
burning
picture
fire.
of Max.
Instead
I
of
saw it
burning it
on
or
the
throwing it,
market.
why don't you sell it to less fortunate people? Like,
Yeah.
I would happily take a Max Verstappen hoodie or whatever.
okay,
Mm.
careful.
But like, if it was for a fiver, it's still
But
F1
it's a
merch.
charity in Africa because, like, that's what they do with old. Like, my brother went to Tanzania and everyone was wearing, like, really shitty, like, misprinted football t-shirts. Like, he got, like, a bootleg Arsenal top that was made from a Man United top, just had an Arsenal logo on it.
Nice.
That's what
Nice.
happens to all. What
Yeah.
happens to what?
I can just
What
imagine.
happens to all the Lewis
Re-
2021 World
regardless, though.
Championship?
Yeah.
I buy them.
Regardless, the main thing is that Sergio obviously did a lot for Max, and it's just like, dude, like crashing in Monaco is, I don't know how to feel about it, because on the one hand, like, I'm hoping that it wasn't intentional, but on the other hand, it's like, I can see it happening. It's happened before. Leclerc, Schumacher, obviously, those two guys, and I
Wait,
guess
hang
you
on,
could say
Leclerc?
21.
He did not
That
crash
wasn't-
on purpose.
He did not crash
21.
on purpose.
He did.
He did. That was
He
not.
did
That
not.
was
He
absolutely
broke
not on
his
purpose. He broke
gearbox.
his sodding gearbox.
That was categorically not on purpose.
Okay,
I'm-
regardless.
I was going to say, have you forgot about the Monaco Leclerc curse?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. But basically,
Or Russell.
I'm hoping that they solve it and it's under the rug. Personally speaking, like,
No chance.
I think that
Mate, it's
there
gone
could
to
be
an-
something
it's gone,
brewing.
It's gone to a position, right, where things will never go to what it was like last year, or even at the start of the season.
So what
It'll
you're
never
saying,
fuck up.
what you're saying to me is that Sergio leaves Red Bull, Daniel gets a reserve
Okay, that-
driver,
Oh,
and
fuck's sake.
Mate,
and
here's the
then,
thing, right?
This
So,
is the most
when
copium
all
I've
the-
ever seen in my life, and I'm a veteran of this shit.
you're a Lewis fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to remind you guys. Like,
Williams fan.
I would like to remind you guys of the fact that when Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen had all their, like, kerfuffles, we'll put it as, like, the minute that started happening, Ricciardo's performances have started to dwindle.
Mm?
And then he left. Done.
Something else to remind
Because
you guys of is that
ever since then,
21.
Max Verstappen has been a leader. No one else has had any sort of bearing. So, what do drivers do in that instance? Not a lot, can they?
Multi 21
Like,
caused Mark
You're
Webber
just
to
a
retire.
passenger while their team lets someone else just, grab all the plaudits.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a sustainable environment.
If Perez's crash was intentional, the FIA will investigate it and Perez might get banned. I can say, I remember I saw this post on Twitter, and just my last point before we move on to Martin, right, on the Verstappen versus Perez situation, is that, like, and I can say this as a marshal myself, Monaco's a short track.
Is that on the bingo
Bingo
card?
card.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
bingo card.
But
No?
basically,
Oh,
basically,
It's on
in a
it.
nutshell, the thing is with Monaco marshals, a lot of people don't know this, but you have to meet a certain age requirement. You have to been marshalling for a number of years. It is the best of the best that you have on that circuit, right? Monaco marshals, like, it is top tier, right? And basically, in a nutshell, if you are endangering, because I think Sainz also, he didn't intentionally spin, but he was affected by it. So and that's I guess you could say putting someone's life in danger, isn't it? You know, because Sainz obviously had a bit of a whack. But regardless, if Perez did, crash in Monaco, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, one part of me will say that's racing, it's underhanded tactics. On the other hand, I'm like, well, it's not integral racing. But what racing is integral, you know? If you want to go into the philosophy of racing, we can go here for hours. Regardless, Martin.
Okay. I'm going to say something. If you disagree, you have to shout at me as loud as you can.
Oh, I'm ready.
No, well, I'm turning the audio down. Give me a second. All right.
Perez played the pace. Should have just gone faster.
For fuck's sake! No, I'm joking. I mean, you're wrong, but it's okay.
Max should have just gone faster and overtaken him then.
Or is it you should be puffing that cigar faster then?
Yeah.
Max should have not crashed into Lewis and damaged his car, which meant that he was behind Checo in the first place.
I like this. This good.
I was gonna say I'll join in on that one. Well then, we have Schumacher Raikkonen who can take that turn cleanly. We have Verstappen and was it Grosjean in 2014 who took it cleanly. We have someone else in that race who took it cleanly. And then, let's bring up the list of Lewis incidents this season where there's always been some form of incident. Magnussen, Sainz, everyone. And I'm sorry, like, I'm just going to say it now. I don't care what anyone says about Lewis. The guy, as Alonso, can only race from the front. His racecraft is absolutely abysmal. And I'm not fair.
Brazil 2021.
Like a race.
Rude.
Can I say, give me the Mercedes seat. Let's see how it goes.
Oh my god, Andrew Tate. Yeah, bro, just put me in the car, left, right, you know?
Oh my god.
Turn the wheel. Look,
Never won a race from lower than third, and we don't say that Seb has shit racecraft, do we?
Seb's racecraft is better than Lewis Hamilton or Hamilito.
I knew I shouldn't have come on this fucking podcast this week.
I just want to say, if you're
Afterwards, it's like,
here's
we
my
don't want to do
CV.
this.
Here is my CV to be qualified to be a Formula 1 driver. Ready?
Have a CV
For real, for real.
academic PhD, and use that to total.
I mean, put it this way though, like, obviously German cars, always German engineered, always great. I mean, that car was the most, Mercedes produced the most radical and evolutionized F1 car in the last 3 years. Das, the car literally drives on rails. I mean, it literally had actual steering like a plane, forward, back, left, right. You can control the tires and everything. And then people like, oh, his car didn't have that much of an advantage. What do you expect when you can literally change the, I forgot the term, but obviously like the angle of the tires, basically. So,
Toe.
yeah, the
Camber.
toe. Camber, yeah.
No,
camber.
is it? No, it wasn't camber. It was the toe angle, no?
So,
Toe
Yeah, something like that. Anyways.
it's basically you could do that much with the car, and then like this year, obviously, no such technology exists, and then.
There's a reason why Lewis hasn't really done well this season. Charles piece of shit. Look where he is. 1 and 1.
Believe it, then you will. Then they're like, oh my god, what's it called? The like demographics of this podcast will dramatically go down if I leave. They're like, you don't want me to leave.
All right, cool.
I don't know what happened if I leave. I might just put my head in the oven. I don't know.
Let's move
Right,
on.
then,
The white man.
Yeah.
Move on.
Or is it? If not, we'll be going into the 1994 conspiracy of the Benetton launch control.
Traction control. There has traction control.
All right.
Active suspension.
Damon Hill was robbed, and
Alright,
I still
guys.
stand by that.
So do I.
All right. Cool. Right. Everyone calm. Everyone good. Everyone calm. Everyone good.
Am I calm? What the fucking question is that?
All right.
Continue.
Unless that,
Text him after, like-
unless that memory stick's got the plans for the 2023 Mercedes on, then please show.
All right. Basically, do you want to talk about Mercedes 2023, specifically their reserve driver situation? All right. Now, there have been one driver in particular who has been linked with a reserve drive, and that is 8-time Grand Prix winner Daniel Ricciardo. Now, he was linked with a Mercedes reserve drive and was hoping that, obviously when Lewis retired, there was no other suitable candidate, he would take the seat. That's what they said, and obviously there was a lot of mention with that happening. But then Ricardo was talking to Red Bull, and I was like, hang on a minute, you have a Haas seat, you have a Williams seat, might as well prove your worth in that team. But then also, because Mick is supposedly already replaced by Nico Hulkenberg at this point, so Gunther Steiner, who is the team principal of Haas, he took a very long time to think about this, right? Like, he took ages, and then finally it is, I think Mick was told supposedly that, all right, listen, Nico's back and Nico's in the seat and find the reserve driver role, and he's talking to Alpine and Mercedes.
It's amazing how long it can take to make the wrong decision. It's crazy.
Yeah. Basically, my question to everyone here is, in 2024, is Mick Schumacher or Daniel Ricciardo more likely to come back? We'll start off, as with our usual order. We'll go Oscar, Lucy, Pran, Rohan, Adam, and then Martin.
I mean, more likely it's gonna be Daniel, isn't it? It has to be Daniel. I can't, because
It has to be by law. You must do
no,
it.
exactly. It really. I don't see any world where Mick will leave F1 and get a seat before Daniel does. But Daniel's stock has plummeted. He is like through the floor. As Martin just activated because he heard me say stock plummeted. Neuron activated. Yeah, you need to buy your Ricardos now because his stock is at the floor. It is. He's really had just a torrid 2 seasons where he's just not.
Sorry, carry on.
He's had a really
Lower
bad 2
Danny Rick or
seasons,
FTX.
and FT. Oh god. He's just had a really rough 2 seasons. He's not worth what he was before, but he's still an insanely marketable driver because everybody loves him, and B, he's got 8 wins. Even in a season where he was performing like major ass, he's got a win. I mean, Mick, I think, has done enough. Well, okay. I think Mick has done enough to stay in F1 for
a
me.
year.
Yes.
For another year, but only really to prove that he absolutely deserves it. It is not cut and dry. He deserves it. He still needs 1 more year to completely prove it, but I think he's earned that other year. Whereas Daniel has proved it for the past decade. I mean, with the exception of the last 2 years. So for the past 8 years,
Yeah.
it's not really a difficult question to answer for me. Really, it's going to be Daniel. He's just the perfect driver for a team. This is the perfect driver for a team, I guess. I don't know what else I was going to add to that. He's super marketable. He's super quick when the machine suits him. He's stupidly quick at Renault in 2020. McLaren, we don't talk about it. And Red Bull, he was,
Do not speak of it.
No, we
I mean,
don't.
let's not
Red Bull,
forget-
he was world champion worthy, 100%.
I mean, let's not forget that Daniel Ricciardo got McLaren's first win in 10 years. So,
Yep.
just that fact alone, adds a little bit of credibility to his name in his
Just as
McLaren
easily
days.
been
I mean,
Lando.
while he wasn't probably as consistent as he needed to be, when he did have that chance, he took it. And that's what, counts the most, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for whether he deserves a seat or not.
Yeah. Lucy?
can I ask? Do you mean a Formula One seat in particular?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say that I can see Daniel Ricciardo going to Formula E.
Mm,
McLaren have a free seat.
no.
IndyCar,
Not
NASCAR.
the ideal thing
Yeah.
I would want though. I can't lie.
Indy
My
or NASCAR, I
answer,
see
if you're
it.
saying- If you're saying Danny Rick or Mick getting a seat in F1 again, I'm going to say neither, and I'm going to say Hulkenberg.
Oh,
So,
Well,
I
uh,
want.
I'm team
I just.
Hulkenberg. Have you seen, thing is, it's actually probably going to happen. Not have a German, so they have to replace Mick with another German, and the only one that's sensible, Seb's retiring, so it has to be Hulk. And let's just be honest,
Lirim
Daniel
Zendelli.
Ricciardo, Grim Zendelli, and David Schumacher both scored 0 points in F3. I checked the other day because I was looking at who else could have been good. I know they're both really
David
bad.
Beckman.
No.
He,
Yeah.
he
What? Oh,
is
did
he
this
German?
guy
Does
just
he
say
race under the
David
German
Beckman
flag?
and just try to get away with it?
hey, what are you talking about footballers for?
Wait, is it
Yeah,
David
David
Beckman?
Okay, and so legitimately, Lando. Like,
Who's
I
the
listened, so I
guy?
listened to
The
pod-
German guy,
I listened
Beckman.
to a podcast. Listened to the Beyond the Grid podcast with Lando a couple of months ago, and I remember Tom Clarkson pointing this out, and
Ralph
it might have been Lando. It was
Schumacher.
someone. If
I'm just I'm putting out German drivers.
If?
Yeah.
fermez la bouche, s'il vous plaît.
Alright. We have
He
to
doesn't understand that.
Nah, but
We
Fran activated.
What was it? We
Basically.
again.
Basically. Anyway, this is like being surrounded by children. Anyway, so I forgot what I was gonna say now.
Rohan,
Oh my god.
No.
do you want to go?
No,
That's what you
Let's
get
say
for
Rohan.
scorning.
no. I was talking about Danny Rick, and then Germans, and then oh my god, Shiv, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. I hate myself
If I come
too.
back to it, I will put my hand up if I think of it again. But I'm pissed
Alright,
off.
Rohan.
Think about
Rohan. Good.
I think Ricardo. I don't. I mean, I don't think.
You don't think?
You want he-
Very true. Yeah.
You don't think, can I say my thing?
Yeah, you go.
Lando really wants.
I mean, I just meant that I don't think he's gonna be staying in F1 or coming back, mainly because I think he's done with F1 now. I don't think he has much more to offer. I don't think he's world champion. I mean, his entire campaign was like to be battling for championships, and now he's battling to not finish last, basically. So
Mm.
I think unfortunately, like especially with those overtake mistakes that we saw in the past two races, I think, which by the way was a trademark just a few years ago, those insane overtakes. Now that that's not there, I think that kind of shows that his time's done. So
Mm.
I think it more shows that he doesn't have any confidence in the car
Mm.
okay, then how come Lando does?
because he's been with
It's a
McLaren for the
snowball
past
effect.
3 years,
Okay, but
4
but
years.
Here's the thing, mate. You know,
Look at the stance.
2018.
It's like
right?
his fucking
Okay.
son.
Perez joined.
This is my boy.
How about this? Perez and Max are pretty similar in Red Bull a lot of the time.
How
There are some
Anyway,
occasions where they
while
are.
how
they
about the
talk-
fact that it's the championship winning team?
Lando.
Okay, Aaron.
Bran,
Bran,
Rohan.
Rohan.
Bran, Rohan.
Oh my
BMW is shit.
So is Red Bull and Verstappen.
Alright.
It's going knock on
Let-
their door.
Shut up. Everyone shut
But
up.
they're not here.
Everyone shut up. Lucy.
On the grid, they were saying Tom Clarkson made the point that there were realistically 3 races in 2021 that Lando almost should have won. So Spa, if he hadn't had that fucking awful crash, he would have been on pole and then he would have won that race, which still counts as a race because it was George's first podium. So I will never say that it wasn't a race.
Mm.
And he should have won in Sochi, obviously, and he could have won Monza had there not been team orders. So like Lando's the only non-big 3 driver to get a podium this year.
Mm.
I was very sad when we were watching together and Lando DNF. We were all like, "Oh!"
It was his birthday as well.
The whole bar was just like, "Oh, poor Lando." It was very cute how he went and sat on his little seat. I can imagine that becoming a meme. Ted was talking about Toto on FaceTime being a meme, which is irrelevant, but Ted talking about memes made my heart warm. Anyway, Lando is better than Danny Rick. Danny Rick is washed. So is Mick. Hulkenberg.
Alright, cool. Adam.
All right then. So, hang on. What topic is this again? Oh
This
yeah,
is
I remember it. I was just
up
trying
is
to
the
think
stream really quickly.
I just thought it was like if Mick is involved in this, so I'm gonna have to answer on behalf of the Germans I know. In chat, it's literally everyone the two Germans I know want Mick to go. They don't want him around. They don't want Vettel around. They don't want him off the track, but they want Hulkenberg back because they don't like any of the
Yeah.
German drivers at the moment. And I honestly think what we're going to see is I think Hulkenberg's going to be back on Thursday in the Hassie. I really want him back because I've missed him on the grid and I missed all mean quality content. But then as well, in terms of Mick, obviously I'm sad that he's going, but I think what the main thing that's cost him is that Ferrari connection gone.
Oof, yeah.
And I think that's obviously Haas, seems like they're doing the Alfa Romeo moving away. No, not Alfa Romeo. Who was it? The Williams approach, obviously, where they had a Mercedes Junior in the car. So that seems to obviously be going now, and they don't want that.
Yeah, a lot of people are moving away from engine programs and like affiliations with two new teams now.
It seems like there's like a lot of people obviously getting past that point and going, okay, we can take on our own drivers. We don't need any more. I honestly think like Hulkenberg's got the seat. I think unless Sargent doesn't get the points this weekend, Mick's probably going to be on the sidelines. And to be honest, I can honestly see him probably going to Mercedes because he's not gonna. I don't think he'll take a reserve role at Ferrari. Maybe, maybe not. But obviously, I think some bridges have been burnt there. Because if not, why would they be getting from the academy? Because obviously Schwartzman's the reserve driver, and then as well, Danny Rick. I think this is an interesting point as well the other day that I saw. Obviously, we've got there was an interview Marco was doing about the Red Bull Junior Academy, and he said Lawson's obviously been promoted in place of Vips already, and now Hauger is also being promoted to AlphaTauri. I think from what he said. So Hauger's taking obviously over Lawson's role because Lawson's going to race Super Formula, so he's not doing another season in F2. So,
Wait, what?
What? Lawson's going to
You don't
Super
know this.
Formula?
Liam Lawson's going to Super Formula.
This
Pierre
is news to
Gasly
me as well.
almost won Super Formula. Pierre Gasly came second in Super Formula.
That's
Nick Hampton's
crazy!
doing really
Oh my
well in
Yeah.
Formula E,
god!
and
I
Rex
watched
is
Super
in
Formula
Super Formula.
religiously.
Yeah, so yeah, he's going to Super Formula. So I think what it's going to be is because I think it was like Lawson can't be here every weekend, so Danny Rick obviously sliding into that role would actually be pretty good for him.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of stuff, see the thing is though, if he goes to Red Bull, I think if they've got obviously AlphaTauri, Sonoda might be, if he develops a bit more, then he'll get the spot in the future. Or even if De Vries develops, then he might have the spot. So that's why I think it's a bit tricky for Daniel going to Red Bull because he might not be able to get the spot back. I think if Mick goes to Mercedes, he might be able to build up. They'll have a good number 2 driver in terms of replacement. And in short, I just hope Hamilton goes off a little bit quicker to get Mick in the car.
I'm a little bit worried for Lawson, to be honest, though.
Yeah, I think to be honest,
I feel like he's gonna end up like another Nick Cassidy.
Yeah.
Like just
Cassidy
being
won
put
Super
on the
Formula.
sidelines and then having like Super GT, and then going to Formula E, going to GTs, doing all that.
I think this is kind of that's more a fundamental problem with the Red Bull Junior Academy. Cause remember a few years ago, obviously when Hartley came in, because they didn't have anyone in the pipeline to fill the seat. Now they've got juniors in F2, obviously Lawson with a super license, Hauger with a super license.
Martin, we can't see your webcam button.
Yep. And now they've been.
Turn it on again.
Yeah. Now they've been overlooked. So that's why I'm a little bit worried. Why did Red Bull obviously go outside the program when now they've got 2 drivers with super licenses to take the seat? So that takes a bit to me like saying what's going on at AlphaTauri there. I know it's a different.
I think it's just a lack of future planning. Like
maybe leaving the journey mark.
They haven't. Like the thing is, I don't think the framework of their program is sustainable enough because doing is funding drivers for not a lot of reason, and then guessing their way through picking.
Still can't see you, mate.
Who goes?
Martin.
Like, yeah, it's a bit of a confusing scenario with Red Bull. I can't lie. Like, it's getting to a position.
No worries.
Like, I just have a feeling, they just need to figure out like a strong structure. You know, have less drivers and make sure that you properly give them as much opportunity as possible. If they don't, then obviously you have two other drivers willing to take that.
Yeah.
But you have to, properly plan this out because you can't have drivers being sat here not getting any sort of leeway to get into F1
Yeah.
when, they will just go out of their academy and become a driver anyway. Like,
I think it's that's just a fundamental Red Bull problem. I think you can,
yeah.
have like 7 or 9 drivers, obviously spread over categories, and you can support them in the right way because you need healthy competition. But if you can't structure them properly, then there's no point having them. So, I think just going back on the topic, then I'll wrap it up. Like obviously with Mick, I think if he goes to Mercedes, he's at least got a way back in. But the thing is as well, Frederick Vesti, obviously, like Mercedes usually don't have that many juniors. But they've got Vesti now, who's obviously going to be the reserve driver and do the test in FP1 this week. So it paints a little picture of over there. I'm a little bit worried for Mick. Is he really this going to be the last time he's on the grid? Because I don't really see how he can stay in F1. And Danny Rick, as sad it is to say, I can't really see a way back for him either.
Yeah.
There was a really sad point that someone made where it's similar to Bruno Senna, where they both have the massive surname, but they don't have the person who's associated with that surname in the paddock to support them.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame because Bruno Senna is actually a really talented driver. Like
Won the Formula E championship.
Yeah,
he was decent in Formula E.
He was
I don't think
okay.
Almost won Fernando the 2012 championship.
Yeah, but the thing is, the thing with Bruno Senna is that Senna, like, I think given time to develop, he would have developed quite fast and would have done quite well. But in regards to my perspective on Mick versus Daniel, I think it's an interesting one because, see, if the rumors are correct and then Daniel goes to Red Bull and AlphaTauri, Red Bull reserve driver, obviously he'll be reserved for Red Bull and AlphaTauri, which gives them a solid, dependable person with experience in their race team and a Grand Prix winner, 7 Grand Prix wins. Daniel
8?
has 8, 7 to Red Bull, 8 to in total, right? And what my perspective is that if Mick goes to Mercedes as a reserve driver, it's really good for him because Mercedes, Aston Martin, McLaren, and Williams, you have 1/4 of the grid who are linked with Mercedes engines, right? So that is, I think, 8 cars in total, and honestly, that's really good because Nick De Vries, when Lando was supposedly sick, was going to get the opportunity. Now we see him, Martin. But basically, the thing is, like, if Mick wants to get an opportunity as a reserve to do like a 1 or 2 race deal in where potentially it could work out, it's no better to do it with a Mercedes engine because nearly half the grid have Mercedes engines in the back of their car. Who's going to come back? It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping Mick stays. I'm hoping the rumors aren't true and that Mick is given a year's extension. But I am going to say that Mick is more likely to return because I don't know how willing Daniel may want to return as well, kind of thing. Like,
he's very hungry, I'll tell you that.
He's hungry, but
hungry for money. Have you seen his new merch?
Yeah.
He's like a 300 quid bottle of wine.
I don't know if I call a bottle of wine merch.
Believe me, every Formula 1 driver's like that. Like, or any driver in general.
Yeah.
Like, they charge £70, £60, £50, for normal pieces of clothing. I mean, guess how much this hoodie cost me? Guess how much?
Flex on us, Fran.
10
billion pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10,000.
Sorry, may I ask?
And this is fine. It works brilliant, and it looks,
£137
just because of the name.
for a sweater.
Sorry,
Could knit multiple sweaters for less than that.
We're
Sorry,
talking
Rose,
about
that's one of my
F1,
questions. My
not
first
much.
question was, is the merch expensive? My next question is, are people buying it?
Yes, because people
Yes.
like Daniel.
Look at this, please. Look at this.
Make your bag.
£184 for a sweater.
I'd buy
That's
it.
a cool sweater.
I'd buy that.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's so much cooler knitting on yourself.
See,
Do I look
to
like
be
I
fair,
have the
in all
fucking
fairness, if I had the
effort
money
for
to afford
that?
it, then I certainly would buy it. You know, like if
The
I had the money
patience
to
for
afford it, then
Yeah,
I would
which I
buy
sure
it
as shit
immediately.
don't.
I would.
So, same with Seb's climate t-shirts. I would 100%
Oh my
buy
god, I looked at the
not have-
prices. They're like
1.
80 fucking euros.
Not bad.
Especially with the
That's-
pound being
You'd have to
taxed
take
so
out a
much.
living mortgage for that.
I was gonna say, I don't know what that is in pounds, but it's basically it's £80 at the moment, isn't it?
Do any of our Twitch viewers want to buy feet pics so that I can buy
Bloody
them?
hell, this took a fucking turn. Mate, hold on. What was it Adam said earlier? Pints and Pitstops gone wild? Maybe he wasn't that far off.
I
No,
like
no.
how we guys.
I am repulsed.
Martin, please make your point and please stay on point. Thank you.
I forgot what I was gonna fucking say now. What was even the original question?
Is Mick or Daniel more likely to return
Oh,
in
Mick's
24?
fucking gone, bro. I got bad news for you guys. Mick's fucking done. I got mad bad news for Mick fans. He is smoked. He is fucking
I
done.
thought this was obvious. I was really surprised when everyone started saying Mick's gonna stay.
Yeah, that's what I was so thinking. I thought I missed something. He is fucking smoked. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say he's as smoked out as your cigar right now.
My cigar is less fucking smoked at the moment. That is unfortunate to be a Schumacher right now. It is
Damn!
Uh,
Fucking hell,
I'm
Martin's
taking no fucking
No,
prisoners.
I
Yeah.
heard one that was
You know what's
worse. I
mad for?
heard
Go for it.
Lewis Hamilton was a vegan so he could feel closer to Schumacher.
oh,
What?
that's fucked up.
What?
That's fucked
Yeah,
up.
What?
Yeah, and he's fucking gone out of F1. That sucks.
What?
Yeah, two steaks for me, my man Lewis here. Yeah, medium Regis. That's what it's gonna be like. Catch me
What?
next week.
Oh my
Catch me next
god.
week.
Wait,
Yeah,
can
me
you
and Lewis.
repeat that, Lucy? Sorry.
No, I can't. I've got myself in a laughing loop and I can't stop laughing and it's really bad.
Lewis
Wait.
became vegan to look up
Shall I
close
serve
to
him you
Schumacher.
to
He became
Get
vegan
out,
to
yeah?
what?
But still my point. So Lewis became vegan to feel closer to Schumacher. So now this weekend, me and my man Lewis in Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
Salt Bay's restaurant, 2 massive tomahawk steaks. Me and my man Lewis, 1 each. You know he's gonna catch him eating steak this weekend, Abu Dhabi. Yeah, it fucking sucks to be Mick right now. It also fucking sucks to be Danny. But I feel, it doesn't suck as much arse to be Danny. He's probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Let's
Can
be
go
real,
cry
we're
into
gonna
their
have
piles
Astor.
of money.
I was
It's
gonna
So
say
bit less.
Fucking loaded. They're all rich. That's what about.
Danny Rick also has a really hot girlfriend, and I mean,
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. His
none of us
girlfriend's
can
hot.
say the same.
All right, cool. Let's move on. We talk about car, not about woman. Reject romance, embrace petrol. All right.
Hey, that's my line.
That's my Discord bio.
Is actually.
Yeah, it is.
I don't remember what the context was in which I told you that, but
I think we were like discussing about relationships, and then you
I
said
see.
reject romance, embrace petrol.
Oh
Um,
god,
Well,
All right.
I was,
so pathetic.
Finally, this is
Okay.
gonna be the shortest one, and I guarantee you, it's gonna involve Sebastian. We're gonna be talking about the Abu Dhabi
Oh,
Grand Prix
God.
preview. I'm gonna predict. Oscar's gonna be like, I want Lewis to win. I want Seb to have a good result.
I'll say I've just got a filler on the preview. Basically, is that steak going to be manipulated, man? And are we going to see Schumacher and Lewis not racing beforehand?
Oh, yeah, no. Well, it depends if they unlap the other trays ahead of them or something. I don't fucking know how that works. Right. I guess I'm going first again, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent. Right. Lewis will win, and I hope so have a good race.
No way.
No, okay. This season has gone so fucking quickly. Probably because I've been really bored for most of it.
Yeah.
But my God, it's here. It's happening. It's the last fucking race. And I don't know who's listened to the Beyond the Grid podcast from today. Holy shit. It's the Seb episode. Oh my God, it's really painful. I'm not ready for him to
Listening it
go.
tomorrow.
Mark
Oh, I
McKenzie.
listened to it on the way in today in the car. Oh, it was painful. So I haven't finished it yet, but I'm not ready to see him go. And the same with Daniel. I'm not ready to see Daniel go. I'm not ready to see Mick potentially go. It's really
Not ready to see Latifi go.
not ready to see Martin go again from the call.
Yeah.
It's oh yeah, Latifi. I forgot. I completely forgot Latifi was leaving. Latifi, sure, yeah. Yeah, it's
Do you want to know a
it's
funny
a lot.
story about Latifi?
Yeah.
Last year at Abu Dhabi, right? Basically, what happened
No.
at Abu Dhabi was
No,
they announced like the drivers' names to get everyone hyped and see how much fanfare there is, right? So obviously Hamilton, Verstappen, they got a big you know, like round of applause and stuff like that, right? And some of the lesser known drivers like Bottas got a few claps here and there. Giovinazzi got, that was it from the entire grandstand, even though it was his last race. And basically what happened was, I remember they're like, from Canada, number 6, Nicholas Latifi. And I swear to you, I screamed, woo, Latifi, at the top of my lungs. The entire fucking grandstand just looks at me. I'm like, okay.
I mean, imagine being at the last corner at Silverstone when he went Q3. Yeah. Now that was a
It
noise.
was good. I
This is how
saw him
it
in the
feels
fan
being.
zone
Oh
just
no,
after
no, wait,
that,
no.
and my God, the amount of Nicholas Latifi. The
Yeah,
entire
it was-
Silverstone weekend was
I have
just
to
that,
say-
and also people doing the same thing
Ah,
over and
yeah.
over.
It was a lot more confusion where I was sitting. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? How did he do that?"
We were just watching him because I was sitting at, oh my God, what's the pokey one down here?
Club?
Luffield?
Luffield. That
Yeah.
was where I sat for the race.
Is it?
Yes.
I was at Luffield, and my God, it was so funny just
I
seeing
got-
Nicholas Latifi go around, being like, "What the fuck?"
What is it? You was at Luffield. I was at Luffield as well.
What for the race?
Yes.
Oh right.
I was-
If you
I-
heard someone cheering it very at no, unbiased point of view. I wasn't cheering at anything.
I say what I was cheering at because I will get cancelled.
Oh god. Anyways, moving swiftly on. Yeah, Abu Dhabi. I don't know if we're doing predictions right now. If we're saving that.
Can.
Okay, great. I'm gonna give my prediction. Because Lewis is gonna win, and if he doesn't win, I don't know what the point is anymore. He's gotta win. He's gotta win. Like, it's just last week was so close. He's had so many close scrapes now that it's becoming a bit too much, and he needs to keep that record. He needs to keep that fucking record, and I really hope. I mean, Abu Dhabi is not a great track for Lewis, especially after last year. He'll probably go around the final quarter in a
Right.
flashbacks. But I know I will. But I do genuinely think he has a shot at winning. That isn't just my copium like the rest of the season. I do genuinely think he has a shot. I don't think it's going to be 1-2. I do think it'll probably be Max second. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, okay. Nothing against George, but I don't think he's going on the podium. I think Max might come second. He's pretty quick, that fella. Believe it or not. And who knows? Third. You know what? Third, Fernando Alonso. Fuck it.
What?
Fernando Alonso.
Yeah,
Fernando has had such an excellent season, and he needs a podium. He needs a podium. And as much as I disagree with 90% of the shit that comes out of his mouth, he's fucking rapid. He's so quick. And this year he's had a great year, and yeah, I hope he gets a podium for Alpine before he fucks off to Aston Martin, having left a burning pile of wreckage in his wake.
Yeah. Burning engines.
yeah.
That's the only
Yeah,
thing that
yeah, but
everyone
we-
just
yeah,
going down.
bang.
Burning
Bell.
engines. Yeah,
I mean,
that's basically it, really.
I was gonna say burning engines. That's just any French car.
Hey, I've got a French car. What the fuck are you trying to say?
One moment.
Oh god, shit! Should I check outside?
Why is it suddenly warm? Is the heater working?
Anyone talk about Aston Martin? No, shut up.
Okay. Lucy, and then Pran Rohan. No,
Well,
Lucy.
Me first?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just
sorry.
sad about.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm just gonna cry. Like that's my prediction for the weekend. Seb is gonna make me cry, and I'm gonna get really drunk. So that's my prediction.
At 2 o'clock, let's go.
Yeah, legitimately thinking we need to make bets for the race this weekend.
I'm
like,
good with
we're
that.
watching it together again.
I am so good.
I don't know.
I am not
don't
losing
mean
any money.
Bets.
I'm losing money.
I mean funny. I mean no. I don't mean money bets. I mean stupid bets. Like, oh my god.
My money bets are usually stupid bets, anyways.
I mean like funny things to do. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
that's an idea.
Like,
oh, I see.
No?
Like, yeah. That's
Oh,
pretty
I'm
funny.
tired.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, Pran Rohan.
So can we do Nutella shots?
Yeah.
I think Max is gonna win. I think.
No way! The Max Verstappen fan thinks Max is gonna win.
Fact, you
I
would be.
think
Oh my god, my
Southern
voice. Oh god, I really hope that wasn't picked up
I-
on Discord.
I think.
That was quite funny.
I think one of the Mercs will come second. I think Alonso might be on the podium. Haas in the points. Albon in the points as well.
Base.
Aston nowhere as usual. Bottas in the points again. And Perez gets punted by Max.
To be fair, that's not a bad prediction. I can't lie.
Oh my
Except
god.
for the
I love
Aston
that.
Martin,
I'll-
but
I'll-
I
I'll
agree.
Max Verstappen winning.
Yeah.
But Max
I was gonna-
dominant so far. I mean, aside
I
from
have
Brazil.
one
yeah,
word
but-
for you.
From a
I have one
personal
word,
standpoint,
all of
I'd
you.
rather that
What's
Max
wait,
doesn't
guys?
win.
What is Lucy's word?
What is your word?
Torpedo.
Excuse me? You're-
Torpedo.
Oh my
Torpedo.
God.
Torpedo.
Oh my God,
Torpedo.
very bad moment.
T-O-R-pedo.
Okay.
Torpedo and George. I'm thinking about my own driver, okay?
Done.
I think what we are gonna see is
Fine, I've
we're
already
gonna.
been cancelled before.
Or is it? You haven't used it correctly. Kvyat's not coming out of retirement, so.
If it's George,
That is
it's
the
a
only
torpedo.
torpedo.
That's the whole point. It's George Fido, but that sounds even worse.
George Pedo, what?
What is
No,
that? I didn't know
not
that.
Oh god.
I've
Right,
never heard that before.
Torpedo.
George
I've
Guys,
never heard that.
shut up, Adam. Adam.
Fucking
Adam, what's
saying
your
it.
point? Adam, what's your point? Everyone,
I've
shut
only
up.
seen it written down. I'm sorry.
Please, Adam, what's your point?
I just said literally torpedo of Kvyat. Oh, do you mean for my
Yeah,
Abu Dhabi preview?
Predictions, yeah.
Oh, my predictions. Total, it's Michael. No, Michael, no. We're back
Michael
again.
Massey comes back.
What is it? What is it? And wait a minute, it's Michael Massey on the last lap. Lewis is about to win, but wait. Yeah, something like that's gonna happen. No, really. I'm actually gonna go with. I'm just gonna say Ferrari are gonna win one more race because I want them to. However,
Base.
we're gonna. Yeah. We'll see Ferrari win one more race. Sainz win because he actually did quite
I'd
good
like to
last
be
year.
a millionaire, but I'm not.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, put it this way, we might need, after what we said earlier, we might need to sell someone's kidney to get the costs back.
So someone's kid.
Uh,
To George
kidney.
Pedo. Oh no!
These Discord
Okay.
mic cuts are really unfortunate.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, the best thing about obviously Discord is obviously you can screenshot people when they're on the camera. Nothing. And then
Screenshot me.
nah.
Press Alt
Anyway,
and F4, Martin. Try that.
Ah,
Going back to the Abu Dhabi preview, I think we're going to see Sainz win, and then we have Leclerc in P2, and then we'll go. I really want. Actually, I want Checo to win. We're going to go Checo win, Sainz P2, and Leclerc P3, and then I hope Verstappen still finishes P4, Russell P5, so we can continue the record. Then I don't know. That's just really all I want, but I just hope, obviously, this. If not, I just really want an unexpected winner. That's it. I want an
What
unexpected
is-
winner.
what are
Someone
those
who's not won.
emojis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think.
This
I think we-
emoji thing is great.
I was like, was
Yeah.
that on the Twitch chat? I saw it. I was like, did I implement this? What?
I've been doing it all pod. How have you not noticed?
Why is it? Why is it? We can watch
Oh
together
god,
now.
what's happening? What is this?
Coming.
Guys.
What's going on?
Eggplant.
Please, guys,
Aubergine
Guys.
moment.
all right, please close that.
He.
Thank you.
Fine.
Alright.
I should have.
Basically, my Abu Dhabi prediction is that it's gonna be fucking chaos because everyone forgot how to drive in Brazil, and I was like, yo, all right, where's the accelerator again? You know, basically in a nutshell, I'm thinking Lewis could win the race, and I'm thinking it's gonna be Leclerc, Sainz,
I have
and
to
Russell fight for the podium. With this, we're gonna end in a bit, and
I need to go to a race engineering thing now, so I'll
Alright,
see
cool.
you guys.
yeah, cool. In a bit.
See you guys later.
Right, see you
See
later,
ya.
Adam.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bro.
But we just have Martin to talk about in regards to his prediction, but I'm thinking Lewis will win the race, keep up his record, and then I also think we're gonna see Mick have his best result, maybe a saving result, and I'm also thinking Max and Checo will collide, and yeah.
Okay. Right. So for
I would
this,
agree
I
with
do
that.
need you to look at my camera for this. Okay. First prediction. Has podium.
That's my prediction thing. I
Right.
predict that every week.
I know. So this is the Chad's head, right? Okay. First, yeah. Has podium. Every time I say has, it happens. What else we got next?
Hang on.
Fucking-
Somebody say ass.
Okay. You know, fucking
This is not funny.
maybe 7 points. What else we got? Oh, Max
L.
winning! Oh, yeah, guys, Max will win.
Oh no. Oh no.
My last prediction.
The cloud
Fucking-
emoji.
Repeat of last year. Yo, sabotage Hamilton. Boom. Fucking dead. Respectfully, I think this race will suck ass like Abu Dhabi has pretty much fucking most years.
Yeah, especially last year.
Yeah.
Last year Abu Dhabi, yeah. And you know what I got to say? You know what I
That's
got to say?
okay.
Max deserved the win. Boom. Chad. The fucking way I
Give
Boom.
me 30 seconds. Max deserves to win the championship, fair enough.
Oh no, not this
Okay,
again.
that's what he's in here. Boom. Chad is.
It was manipulated, and they literally said it was manipulated in Brazilian fucking parliament.
This is literally
wait, I'm sorry,
literally my internal
Wait,
dialogue.
wait, sorry. The race was
Monologue
manipulated. Wait, is it actually manipulated? I didn't hear this.
Yeah,
Wait. But if it was
Said it-
manipulated,
Human error champion.
boom.
Anyway, we really should stop because I think we've
The race
broken
was
Shiv.
manipulated.
I think we have.
Good. Spam the chat.
Shiv,
This
go,
is-
go,
Okay,
Shiv.
come on, wrap this shit up.
Thank
wrap
you
this
guys
shit
for
up, come on.
watching. We'll see you next week when the Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi Grand Prix
Pints.
The
does.
results of Shiv bingo.
When
Thanks
the
for-
Abu Dhabi Grand Prix does.
Pints and pit stops, guys. Pints. Yes.
Oh my
Alright.
god, this is a fucking shit show.
I love all of you guys. We'll see you next week in a
Bye.
bit.
It is.